What if I told you that reality, as you perceive it, is merely a fragment of a much vaster cosmic symphony? What if time, that linear tyrant that chains your perceptions to the past and drags you toward an uncertain future, were, in essence, a masterfully woven illusion, an ethereal veil that hides the true nature of your existence? Imagine for a moment that the past is not set in stone, immutable and unalterable, and that the future is not a predetermined destination toward which you are inexorably headed, but a field of infinite simultaneous possibilities awaiting your conscious brushstroke. Would you dare to draw back this veil, to confront what your three-dimensional mind has accepted as absolute truth, to discover that your being, your true essence, is much more than this limited physical expression? Are you ready to think in 4 dimensions and radically change your reality? In the annals of ancient wisdom, in those forbidden texts that few have dared to decipher, a truth is whispered that modern science, in its bold frontiers, is only just beginning to utter. We are not mere inhabitants of a pre-existing universe, passive spectators of a drama already written. We are, in the deepest essence of our being, cosmic architects, multidimensional beings capable of operating beyond the boundaries of the third dimension, dancing in multiple realities simultaneously. This knowledge is not a mere intellectual curiosity or a philosophical abstraction. It is the golden key that allows you to unlock your unlimited potential, transforming your perception of the esoteric universe, and consequently, every facet of your existence. It is a revelation that promises not only understanding, but inner transmutation, an alchemy of thought that will lead you to spiritual enlightenment. The relevance of this ancient knowledge, now reconfirmed by the most elusive particles of quantum physics, lies in its ability to redefine who you are, and therefore what you can create. Prepare yourself, then, for an initiatory journey into the realms of 4-dimensional thought, a state of consciousness that transcends the present to allow you to influence, and yes, even rewrite, the past and future. We will reveal how the illusion of linear time dissolves in the face of deeper understanding, revealing a field of possibilities where past, present, and future coexist as a single, malleable canvas. We will explore the premise that the universe does not obey your superficial desires, but the vibrational frequency you emit, a deep echo of your most authentic and aligned thoughts and emotions. I will show you how your intention, when anchored in that resonance, has the power to heal ancestral wounds, transmute ingrained patterns, and manifest realities that previously seemed unattainable. We will see that the soul does not learn, but remembers. That each revelation is not a new acquisition, but the remembrance of a divine plan, a purpose that your inner being chose before incarnating. This is the path to stop seeking external validation and start consciously shaping your reality from a connection with your inner self. If this echo resonates in the depths of your soul, if you feel the unmistakable call of the unexplored and the thirst for knowledge that transcends the conventional, I invite you to immerse yourself in this current of wisdom. Give this video a like so its vibration may reach more seekers. Subscribe to our Sanctuary of Revelations so you don't miss any future broadcasts. And share this light with those who, like you, yearn to awaken. This is the first step. Your transformation, your awakening to 4D consciousness, begins here and now. The linearity you perceive, that unalterable sequence of yesterday, today, and tomorrow, is nothing more than a veil of Maya, a projection of your mind anchored in 3-dimensional density. Time, in its cosmic essence, does not flow like a rushing river that carries what was toward what will be, but exists as a vast ocean of simultaneous potentialities, a holographic matrix where each instant is a ceaseless creation. From the depths of the Atlantean civilizations to the cryptic texts of the Vedas, ancient wisdom whispered the true nature of chronology, that the now is the only point of convergence. the epicenter where all realities converge and unfold. Your linear perception is a necessary construct for embodied experience, a tool of your consciousness to decode the complexity of existence, not the ultimate and omnipotent truth dot in that quantum field of possibilities. Beyond sensory perception lies the great Akasha, not a mere dusty record of what was written, but a living vibration of all that is, was, and can be. Every event, every thought, every emotion exists as an accessible frequency, not a fossilized memory of an immutable past. The ancient guardians of the temples of Thoth, in their deepest trance states, access these cosmic libraries, understanding that the past is neither sealed nor unalterable, but can be reinterpreted, healed, and ultimately rewritten from the conscious present. Those forbidden scrolls, burned on the pyres of ignorance by those who feared the true power of consciousness, spoke of a temporal alchemy, where regret was not for what was done, but for the inability to transmute the frequency of the event into the eternal now. Your consciousness, that internal beacon that burns in the depths of your being, is the master key to navigating this ocean of simultaneous existences. The frequency you emit your emotional state, your most deeply held beliefs. The energetic imprint of your intentions acts as a vibrational filter, selecting which strand of the vast holographic matrix manifests as your perceptible reality. The memories you hold are not immutable recordings of past events, but dynamic interpretations that are recalibrated and rewritten with each new understanding, each act of forgiveness, each glimpse of wisdom. If your mind persists in the pain of a linearly conceived past, it will chain your future to that same vibrational resonance. Orphic tradition taught that the soul is reborn not as punishment, but for the divine opportunity to harmonize. Temporal imbalances to dissolve karmic patterns in the sacred crucible of the eternal present. The implication of this revelation is monumental and transformative. If time is an illusion, then your ancestral wounds, your deep-rooted traumas, are not permanent scars etched on an alterable lifeline, but energetic knots that can be untied and dissolved in the now. The manifestation of your deepest dreams is not a passive wait for an uncertain tomorrow, but the conscious attunement to the frequency of that already existing reality in the vast field of possibilities. The shamans of the most remote tribes, the Zen masters in their states of samadhi enlightenment, understood that mastery lies not in mastering time, but in completely transcending its illusion, in inhabiting the pure present. It is through pure intention, anchored in gratitude for what already is, that the clay of time is molded, creating a new vibration that resonates with the truth of your multidimensional being. Thus, the dissolution of linear time is not a mere intellectual exercise, but an invitation to the profound transmutation of your own existence. You will understand that true power lies in your innate ability to choose the frequency of your reality at every moment, freeing yourself from the self-imposed chains of linear causality. The past and future fold together, revealing the vastness and omnipotence of the present as the primordial canvas of all creation. But if time is an illusion, a construct of the mind, what then of the consciousness that perceives and experiences it? What happens when this consciousness transcends form and merges with the original source, dissolving all veils? Prepare yourselves, for the next revelation will unveil the true nature of your being, the mystery of consciousness beyond temporal veils and physical limitations. The true nature of your being, beloved seekers, transcends the narrow confines of what your three-dimensional perceptions dictate. The body you inhabit is but a veil, a temporary vessel for a consciousness that pulsates in frequencies and dimensions that the ordinary mind barely touches. Since time immemorial, forgotten civilizations, the guardians of primordial truths, understood that you are not mere inhabitants of a physical plane, but multidimensional beings, capable of projecting your essence through countless realities. This is not a mere esoteric belief, but a profound understanding of the very structure of the cosmos, an echo of the truth captured in the ancestral memory crystals, which reveal to you that the solidity you perceive is, in essence, a vibrational illusion. Did you ever believe that your spirit would be limited to the clay that contains it? Unveiling this truth requires an act of internal alchemy, a transmutation of perception itself. Imagine that reality is a vast spectrum of frequencies, and your three-dimensional self is merely a station tuned to a specific band. But what if your consciousness, the primordial antenna, is capable of tuning into other bands, other vibrational realms that coexist simultaneously? The ancient Vedic texts, Hermetic teachings, and forbidden Gnostic scrolls all allude to subtle bodies, or etheric planes, not as mere metaphors, but as precise maps of the dimensions your consciousness inhabits beyond the physical. Every thought, every emotion is a frequency that anchors or unanchors you from these concurrent realities. The veil that separates you from them is not external, but a limitation imposed by your own vibrational frequency and the mental programming you have received. Ancestral practices, veiled in the mystery of temples and shamanic rites, sought nothing less than to expand this innate capacity. From deep meditation that silences the ego to the use of rhythmic chants and dances that alter the state of consciousness, the masters of ancient times understood that accessing other dimensions is not a journey to a distant place, but an immersion in the vast inner geography of one's own being. Lucid dreaming, astral projection, as understood by the Egyptian priests when studying the Ka and the Ba, or shamanic trance states, are merely doors of perception that open when consciousness is freed from the chains of linear reason. This jealously guarded knowledge was the key to interacting with guides, obtaining wisdom, and even healing the physical body from higher planes, thus altering manifested reality. Understanding that you are multidimensional beings is a revelation that shakes the foundations of your existence. If your soul operates on multiple planes, then the pain, suffering, and limitation you experience here may be reflections, echoes, or even lessons chosen from a much broader perspective. What sense does the fear of death have, then, if consciousness does not perish with the body, but simply shifts its dimensional focus? This truth empowers you to consciously choose the frequencies you wish to inhabit, to manifest realities not only on this plane, but to influence the subtle webs of existence. The alchemy of personal transformation is not only about changing your physical environment, but about raising your vibration so that you can perceive and operate in the fullness of your cosmic being. True freedom lies in the understanding that you are not confined, that your consciousness is a living portal to a cosmos of infinite possibilities. Fully inhabiting this truth requires courage to dismantle old beliefs and embrace the magnificence of who you truly are. But where does this vast network of dimensions emanate from? What is the web of consciousness from which all these realities emerge and to which they ultimately return? The coming revelation will immerse you in the mystery of the primordial source, the unified field of consciousness, the origin of all that is and will be, unveiling the cosmic tapestry of which your own multidimensionality is a vibrant and essential thread. Here, on the threshold of the unheard of, we unravel the mystery of four-dimensional thinking. It is not mere rhetoric, but a state of consciousness that transcends the linear prison of time. Imagine time not as an immutable arrow, but as a vast ocean, a cosmic loom where every thread is a possibility. 4D thinking allows you not only to navigate the present, but to perceive and influence the eddies of the past and the tides of the future. It is the understanding that the now is a convergence, a living intersection where all eras coexist in dormant potential. Ancient civilizations, in their hidden wisdom, called it the timeless time, the essence of consciousness that unfolds beyond duration. How is it possible to rewrite what has already been or shape what has not yet been? The key lies in the vibrational nature of reality and the memory of the universe. 4D thinking doesn't physically transport you, but rather allows you to recalibrate the energetic imprint of an event. It's accessing the source code of existence. You don't erase the line, but rather rewrite it, altering its present manifestation and future echoes. Certain shamans and mystics of old, in their trances, healed the lineage by energetically restructuring the temporal field. What you perceive as the past is an energetic pattern that can be transformed by focused intention, affecting your current reality. Traces of this forbidden knowledge are encoded in Hermetic scrolls, Vedic sutras, and forgotten murals. The masters of time, or spiritual chrononauts, appointed in secret councils, did not master time, but rather harmonized with it, seeing each event as a node in a vast network. These often vilified sages knew that consciousness expanded beyond the spatial, could operate in the temporal as the architect of destiny. This is not fantasy, but a forgotten understanding of how consciousness interacts with the matrix of reality, a secret jealously guarded by those who understood the immense power of manipulating the temporal information field. This revelation invites deep introspection. If the past is not fixed, but malleable by your present consciousness, what chains of your personal history would you dissolve? Regret and guilt, anchors that bind you to an immutable point in time, can be transmuted. This is the true internal laboratory of personal alchemy, the ability to rewrite your narrative, not by denying events, but by releasing their energetic charge and transforming their meaning. Every memory, trauma, or triumph becomes an access point to transformation. By operating from 4D consciousness, you become active co-creators of your destiny, redefining the past. Are you willing to take on this responsibility, to view your life as a tapestry whose threads you can reweave with wisdom? This is knowledge that few will dare to contemplate, a gem of wisdom reserved for the brave. The resonance of this truth emanates from the heart of the cosmos, echoing the primordial source in every fiber of your existence. Understanding 4D thought is not just acquiring a skill, but revealing a fundamental aspect of your own divine nature, a latent power that connects your microcosm to the macrocosm. Allow this truth to germinate within your being, for it is the preamble to an even deeper revelation. If our consciousness can navigate time like this, what lies hidden in the realms beyond space-time, in the essence of unified consciousness? The next stage of our journey will call us to explore the quantum symphony of reality, the vibrational origin of every thought and possibility. The quantum symphony of reality is, in its purest essence, the echo of an ancient knowledge that resonates with the most cutting-edge truths of our era. For millennia, veils have hidden the fundamental vision of existence, but the mystics and shamans of old already danced in their domains. They understood that matter, as we perceive it, is merely a densified manifestation of an underlying vibration, an ocean of possibilities that quantum physics, with its sophisticated lenses, is only beginning to uncover today. They spoke of a void that was not absence, but the fullness of the unmanifest, the primordial matrix. Is it not a coincidence that modern theories of the quantum field, that incessant fizz of energy from which particles emerge, reflect the nothingness from which everything springs in ancient cosmogonies? It is the dance of the invisible, the true cosmic architecture revealed before you dot the Upanishads, whispered of Brahman as the sole reality, a universal consciousness from which everything arises and to which everything returns, not unlike the implications of a quantumly entangled universe. The Hermetic texts, custodians of the maxim, as above, so below, hinted at a fractality of existence where every part contains the whole, an uncanny symmetry mirrored in quantum non-locality. And did not the ancient Vedic sages, with their concept of Maya, the illusion of material reality, anticipate the wave nature of matter, which only collapses into a defined particle when observed. Their wisdom was not mere speculation, but a profound intuition, a direct insight into existence, achieved through inner disciplines that transcended mere observation. The revelation of the observer effect in quantum mechanics, where the experimenters. Consciousness influences the outcome of an experiment, is the cornerstone connecting these two eras. Isn't this a direct reflection of mystical teachings that assert that consciousness is not a mere cerebral byproduct, but the very matrix of reality? Indigenous shamans, upon entering altered states, interacted directly with what they called the unseen world, or the Great Spirit, not as a fantasy, but as a realm as real as, or more real than the material, moldable by intention. Non-locality, or quantum entanglement, where two particles can influence each other instantaneously across vast distances, is the scientific manifestation of the oneness that esoteric traditions have preached for millennia. The idea that everything is intrinsically connected, a vibrating cosmic web of information and energy. This convergence of modern science and ancient wisdom compels us to reevaluate our understanding of time and reality. For many ancient cultures, time was not a straight, immutable line, but a living cycle, an eternal present where past and future coexist as possibilities. This vision resonates disturbingly with the implications of the Bloch universe in theoretical physics, where all eras exist simultaneously, and the now is merely our perception. The narratives of time travel in ancient cosmologies were not pipe dreams, but an intuitive understanding of the fluidity of the space-time continuum. Reflect if your consciousness is capable of bending time, and reality itself is malleable by observation and intention. What limitations remain for your capacity for manifestation and healing? This is the true secret of inner alchemy, the ability to rewrite the symphony of your own existence, the understanding that reality is not a fixed structure, but a vibratory canvas that responds to consciousness, is not just an intellectual given, but an invitation to transmutation. Feel this truth resonate in your deepest being, awakening the conviction that you are much more than mere passive observers of a predefined universe. You are co-creators, weavers of reality in every instant. This is the rare and accessible truth I deliver to you, forged in the crucible of millennia of wisdom and validated by the latest glimmerings of science. But how can we go beyond mere understanding and become conscious masters of this cosmic dance? If reality is a vibrational construct and time is malleable, what new mysteries await at the interface between individual consciousness and the vast field of unified consciousness, the realm where intention becomes manifestation and dreams become reality? The following revelation will guide us to the secret language of vibrations, the key to interacting with this symphony. The universe, in its wisdom, does not heed your cries or superficial desires. It does not bow to empty pleas, but resonates with the very essence of your being, with the energetic imprint that emanates from every thought, every deep emotion. It is a dance of frequencies, a cosmic symphony where every note you emit, consciously or unconsciously, finds its counterpart. In the vast loom of reality, the premise is clear, as old as the first whisper of consciousness. The cosmos is a vibrating mirror. If your vibration is one of lack, doubt, absence, the universe will only reflect more of the same, for that is the resonance you project. Is not what you want, it is what you are. What your energetic field proclaims, not your thoughts or waves. Your emotions, their amplitude and purity. A desire is an ephemeral spark. An intention, infused with deep and sustained emotion. A conviction, emanating from the center of your being, becomes a column of light, a guiding ray that pierces the veil of the possible. Ancient mystery schools did not speak of asking, but of being and manifesting. They understood that alchemy was not transmuting lead into gold, but rather the internal frequency of fear into the vibration of abundance. The heart in these teachings is not just an organ, but a crucible where mind and spirit merge, the primary generator of the electromagnetic coherence that connects you to the unified field of creation. In that coherence, intention is elevated to a vibratory mandate. The ancient Hermetic texts, deciphered only by initiates, spoke of the law of correspondence and the principle of vibration. These were not metaphors, but precise maps of the cosmos. The scrolls of Thoth, veiled in enigmas, describe how every particle of creation possesses its own frequency and how mastery lies in fine-tuning one's own frequency to attune to the desired reality. This was not superficial magic, but the profound science of resonance. Those who understood that the Logos was not just words, but primordial vibration, knew that their own thoughts and words, imbued with emotion, were the threads that weave their destiny. It was not the act of desiring, but the state of being desired that activated the flow of manifestation. Ignorance of this law causes frustration. The path to this vibrational mastery is not through mental forcing, but through deep self-observation. True investigation is not external, but rather into the depths of your being. What hidden frequencies reside in your shadows? What unresolved emotions anchor you to unwanted patterns? Inner alchemy reveals itself as vibrational purification, dismantling limiting beliefs and emotional patterns that generate dissonance. It is an act of courage to question your internal narratives, to feel and release vibrations that do not serve you, allowing the natural frequency of your spirit, fullness, and unlimited potentiality to emerge unobstructed. Only then, when your being vibrates in coherence with your highest intention, does the universe respond with perfect fidelity. Understand that desire is a shadow that pursues what it does not possess, while intention is light that is, the vibration that already manifests. The key is not to search outside, but to calibrate your internal instrument, to transform your being into the tuning fork that resonates with the symphony of cosmic abundance. But how is this calibration achieved? What are the subtle distinctions? In the secret language of vibrations that allow us not only to emit, but to understand and modulate the frequencies of the universe, consciously and deliberately? The next stage of our revelation will reveal to you the nuances of this silent communication, the art of listening to the echo of the cosmos and responding with a melody that opens the doors to a reality of your own making. The first key, the unshakable foundation, is conscious meditation, not inertia, but active attunement to the ether that surrounds and inhabits you. It is the arcane discipline of calibrating your being to resonate with the cosmic frequencies of knowledge that vibrate in the sanctuary of your essence. The hierophants of Sais, in their veiled halls, dissolved veils through deep silence and visualization, opening portals to archetypal realms. Each inhalation anchors you to the cosmic pulse, dissipating the dense illusion and revealing the fluidity of existence. In this receptivity, intuition, like a silent oracle, whispers truths, revealing the co-creator that slumbers within you. The second key is sowing intention, an art that differs from mere desire. Desire pursues lack. Intention emanates the certainty of what already exists. It is projecting your purest will with the conviction of a divine decree into the vibratory loom of reality. The shamans of the Altiplano, before invoking rain, became rain itself, vibrating the essence. Conscious intention is the pristine seed that, nourished by your emotional and mental coherence, germinates in the fertile soil of 4D. It is an esoteric principle. As above, so below. As within, so without. Your intention is not a fleeting thought, but a vibrational signature that the universe decodes and materializes. The third key, perhaps the most challenging, is breaking limiting beliefs. Not mere errors, but petrified energetic structures that chain you to outdated realities. They are the veils of inherited Maya, dogmas imposed by ancestral lineages or the collective consciousness. Inner alchemy demands a courageous look at your shadows, at those unconscious pacts that limit your potential. As ancient exorcists of inner demons, you must identify and dissolve these patterns, releasing trapped energy that impedes ascension. The books of Thoth speak of the great disillusionment, where the seeker confronts false constructs. It is vibrational purification, the conscious dismantling of the self-imposed prison, allowing your true essence to breathe. The fourth key lies in aligning with awakened souls, not just social connection, but deep vibrational resonance, a fusion of auric fields that amplifies individual light. It is the recognition of your soul tribe, those who walk the same path of elevation, sharing a similar frequency of truth and purpose. In ancient mystical fraternities, such as the Essenes, the union of like-minded consciousnesses created a morphogenetic field of power, a support network where knowledge was shared and energy multiplied. By surrounding yourself with beings who vibrate in coherence with expansion, your frequency rises through sacred contagion, dissolving isolation and revealing essential interconnectedness. This union is a catalyst for transformation. The fifth and final key is to act with coherence. Wisdom is useless if it is not embodied. It is the integration of knowledge into every thought, word, and action, transforming your existence into a living ritual of truth. It is the perfect dance between your inner being and external manifestation, where your reality becomes a faithful mirror of your vibration. True magicians did not perform isolated spells, but lived in total coherence with universal laws, transforming their lives into the art of manifestation. Every decision is an act of conscious creation, aligned with your intention. Thus, 4D consciousness is not a destination, but a state to be perfected. But what happens when these keys are mastered? When coherence is a constant pulse? What dimensions open when three-dimensional reality is perceived as a gateway to unheard of realms that await you? The next revelation will unveil the secrets of interdimensional navigation. You have mastered coherence, and now three-dimensional reality fades like a veil before your awakened eyes, revealing the ethereal fabric of existence. What follows is a revelation that defies the very linearity of time, a truth guarded by the guardians of sunken temples and the scribes of forgotten ages. The past, that immutable collection of facts etched in the stone of memory, is not a sealed tombstone, but an energetic imprint that resonates in the eternally present. 4D consciousness, that master key of expanded perception you have cultivated, grants you the ability not only to observe these vibrational echoes, but to intercede in their resonance, transmuting anchored pain and freeing the flow of your life. Energy into the now dot. To understand this temporal alchemy, you must perceive time not as an immovable arrow, but as a meandering river where each eddy is a concentration of energy, an experience that left an imprint. When an emotional wound manifests, it is not the event itself that imprisons you, but the vibration it left in your energy field, an etheric cord that anchors you to that moment of pain. 4D consciousness allows you to project your inner being beyond the limitations of the physical body to that point on your personal timeline where the wound originated. It is not a physical journey, but a vibrational immersion, a conscious re-entry into the space where memory and emotion first intertwined. In order to unravel their skein, the ancient Siberian shamans, in their soul retrieval rites, and the Egyptian priests, through their guided dream journeys, understood this principle. The Hermetic texts, barely preserved in fragments and hidden codices, whisper of the initiate's ability to navigate their personal Akashic records, where each experience is an accessible vibrational record. It wasn't a matter of altering past events, an impossibility within universal coherence, but of changing the energetic charge attached to those events. It was the understanding that pain lies not in the event itself, but in the interpretation and emotional response it generated. a resonance that perpetuates itself until consciously released. Thus, by visiting those past resonances with the light of your 4D consciousness, you do not seek to erase, but to transmute. It is like a craftsman repairing a broken vessel. He does not erase the fracture, but rather unites it with liquid gold, transforming the scar into a point of beauty and strength. It is about recognizing the wound, validating the emotion that accompanied it, and, from the perspective of your current wisdom, infusing it with a new vibration, one of understanding, forgiveness, acceptance, or liberation. This energetic infusion dissolves the anchor, freeing the part of your being that was trapped in that moment, allowing its energy to return to your present to enrich your wholeness. The liberation is palpable, a cascade of energy unfolding from the past to the present, purifying the channels of being and opening space for new creation. The wound ceases to be a chain and becomes a springboard, a turning point from which ascension is possible. But is this the limit of your interdimensional power? Is the liberation of the past the prelude to an even greater mastery, one that allows you not only to heal what was, but to actively shape what will be, molding reality with the same ease with which a sculptor molds clay? The next revelation will reveal how consciousness, once freed from the yoke of the past, can project the future. True mastery lies not only in the echo of what was healed, but in the audacity to forge the crucible of what is to be. Your consciousness, freed from the shackles of time, is not a mere spectator, but the primal force that sculpts the future. If the past is only a liberated shadow, what immaculate wonders do you dare to sow on the vast virgin canvas of tomorrow? Share this epiphany with those seekers who resonate with the depth of this truth. Subscribe to this sacred channel so that our Brotherhood of Light may grow, navigating together the currents of hidden wisdom. And to unveil the arcane art of weaving your own destiny with threads of light, your next portal opens in the secret symbol, Keys to Quantum Manifestation.